Sometimes he'll rip a hole in your tights and watch red tears ooze from your lips, or he'll coax you from your clothes and fuck you tender with a hand closed over your pulse. Then sometimes he'll have you stripped bare before he even starts. Sometimes you can strain like an impatient standing against a thunderstorm, but others you can do nothing but let him breathe against your ear. Sometimes, without knowing, you sip submission from a plastic cup. Always, though, when it's over and you see the lilac stains, repulsed, you will wonder why you didn't see them before. Right, so this one is a little bit darker. It doesn't have a title, again, because I'm bad at titles. It's inspired by a somewhat colored history I have with men, and like romantically, sexually, across the board, but is just referencing, each stanza is referencing a different kind of situation, and is not necessarily, these aren't necessarily specific to me, but just thinking about the different ways that women are mistreated by men, specifically in romantic or sexual contexts. There's some imagery that kind of points to assault and manipulation, and things like that. The point of the poem is kind of talking about how it's not always black and white, and how a man can abuse and manipulate a woman without it being outright rape, like without him holding her down and forcing her into it, or without him hitting her across the face. It's not always that black and white. He'll coax you from your clothes and fuck you tender with a hand closed over your pulse. So that one is about sort of like this guy maybe lulling the speaker into a false sense of security, leading the woman on to believe that he has different intentions than he does, and then sometimes he'll have you stripped bare even before he starts. This idea of being vulnerable with someone and trusting someone, and then being betrayed or being hurt by them. There's sometimes, without knowing, you sip submission from a plastic cup, so that's a reference to, obviously could be, if you take it kind of literally, it could be like date rape, but also this idea of being in an abusive relationship and sort of it's starting off really good and really nice, and he's sweet and you think he's perfect, but then as you get to know him, he sort of lets his true colors show, and then and it's gradual. It's never all at once. It's very gradual, and then all of a sudden you realize like that you've been dealing with this really terrible guy and being treated really poorly. You didn't even realize it. And then the last stanza, always though, when it's over and you see the lilac stains, repulsed, you will wonder why you didn't see them before. So that is sort of speaking to victim blaming, and specifically the women, the victims of assault, of abuse, of manipulation, whatever, feeling or being made to feel like it is somehow their fault, like they should have seen it coming, or they should have done something to prevent it, or they should have gotten out sooner, or things like that. Certain things that we as a society tell women sometimes, tell victims about their relationship, like it's sort of making it out to be their fault. Yeah, so in general is about just the different ways that men will mistreat women.